What's happening, NXPT? My name's Andrea. I am your dietitian, and the first Q&A session that we had for the challenge brought three really good questions, and I'm just going to recap those for you in case you couldn't make it to the live Q&A. So the three questions I'm going to go over are, what are macros? What should I put in my recovery shake? And how do I make sure that I'm getting all the nutrients that I need if I follow a plant-based or vegetarian diet? So the first question, what are macros? So the term macros is just short for macronutrients. And those are things that we get in our diet that provide us with energy that we need in large amounts. So the three macronutrients are protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Alcohol also provides calories, but we don't consider it a macronutrient because it doesn't provide any nutrients. So the three macronutrients, protein, carbohydrate, and fat, we need those in varying amounts. And the easiest way to figure out your macro distribution or your macro breakdown, if you're tracking your calories, is to first go to the calorie calculator worksheet, sign in on the NXPT website, go to the nutrition tab, and then the very first PDF clickable link is a calorie calculator worksheet. So first, you're going to fill that out, go through it with your numbers from your scan and figure out how many calories that you need in a day. And then from there, you're just going to take your total calorie amount and you're going to break it down into macronutrients. So a very typical macronutrient breakdown is to have 45% of your calories coming from carbohydrates. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your total calorie amount, find 45% of that, and then divide by 4 to get the grams of carbohydrate. Then you're going to split the remaining calories into protein and fat. Fat should be no more than 30% of your total calories, and then protein will be the rest, usually around 25%. And so you're going to do the same thing. You're going to find, let's say protein's 25% of your total calories. So find 25% of your total calories for the day and then divide by 4 to get grams of protein. And then the same thing with fat, except for fat has 9 calories per gram. So you'll find, let's say you're doing 25 or 30% fats, you'll find 30% of your total calories, and then all you're going to do is divide by 9, and that's the grams of fat. So if you're tracking your food in MyFitnessPal, you can kind of get a sense for the grams of macronutrients that you are targeting for each macro, and that's for the total day. If you have an iPhone and you're using MyFitnessPal, when you're on the food diary, you can turn your phone sideways, make sure the screen lock is off, and you'll be able to see the macro breakdown per meal. For protein, it's really important that you are spacing your protein, your grams of protein intake out, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Make sure you have a good protein source at each meal and snack. And then for fat and carbohydrates, those can kind of wax and wane depending on the meal that you're having, what time of day you're working out. You want more carbs around your workout and less fat around your workout. And then you can have more fat later on, maybe less carbs the further you are out from your workout. So again, protein sources at all meals and snacks. In the morning, this could be things like eggs, egg whites, Greek yogurt, breakfast meats that are low in salt and low in saturated fat, protein powder in smoothies. For snacks, you can do things like hard-boiled eggs, string cheese, beef jerky, roasted chickpeas, cottage cheese, again, Greek yogurt. There's lots of options. And then typically for like lunch and dinner, people either have like an animal source of protein like chicken, turkey, fish, lean beef, or did I already say fish? Yeah, I think I did. So that is basically a rough breakdown of what macros are and how you can figure out your macro numbers. If the math confused you, reach out to me and I can help run you through that. It's super simple, I promise. So I can help if you need help with that. The second question that I wanted to recap is, what should you put in a protein shake or a smoothie? So a smoothie is a really great option for like post-workout or kind of as like a meal replacement, because if you're using a protein powder, you can get in a good amount of protein. You can get in liquid to rehydrate, and then you can get a lot of nutrients in there. So my kind of template for making smoothies is number one is protein powder. If you don't have protein powder, you ran out, and in a pinch, you can put like Greek yogurt in your smoothie so that you're getting some source of protein, but you definitely want protein in your smoothie. If you're looking at like the ready-made drinks at the grocery store, like some brands are like Naked or Fairlife, you want to make sure that those have protein in them. So a good either whey isolate protein or a plant-based like a pea protein are totally fine. I know Costco sells Gold Standard whey. That's perfectly fine option. And so you want to have protein powder. And then I love using any type of frozen fruit. So particularly frozen berries are really good because they're high in antioxidants and they're just delicious. And then you should put some sort of color in your smoothie. So, or anything that's providing extra nutrients. So spinach, those power greens or super greens, blends from the grocery store, just shove those greens in the smoothie. You won't even taste it because the sweet fruit and your protein powder is going to overpower the taste of the vegetables, and you're just getting extra nutrition. If you're looking to put on lean mass and you need more calories, you can add things like peanut butter or any nut butter, oats, granola, but that's only if you need extra calories. If you're looking to lose weight, I would either skip those options, or you can use something like the peanut butter powder, the PB Fit, to get the peanut butter taste with all the without all the extra calories. And then the last thing in your smoothie is just your liquid of choice. So that could be water, that could be, I don't really recommend juice if you're trying to lose weight, but something like an almond milk or regular milk or water is fine. And so that's what you should have in your protein smoothie. If you're on the go, you can just bring protein powder in a blender bottle and mix it with water. But if you have the chance to either bring a smoothie with you or at home make a smoothie, you can just get so much more nutrition and nutrients in the smoothie format. So I love that. And then the last question that was asked that I thought was really great to share is, how do you make sure you're getting all your nutrients if you're either plant-based or vegetarian? So there's some nutrients, in particular protein, iron, calcium, vitamin D, that you want to make sure that you are getting good food sources of if you are not eating meat and or animal products. So the specific question was, how do you know that you're getting enough iron? Well, the first thing I'll say is never take an iron supplement without having a blood value, because iron can be toxic. You can take it in levels of toxicity. And so you always want to make sure, if you feel like, if you're vegetarian or plant-based and you're feeling like tired, fatigued, you might want to get your iron levels checked, but never take an iron supplement unless you have that blood value to back it up and your doctor prescribes it. But just to make sure that you're getting a balanced diet with lots of nutrients, if you are plant-based, good sources of iron that are non-animal sources are going to be nuts, beans, and then iron fortified grains. So if you look at like your whole grain bread or different like cereals and other grains like that, they actually add iron to those products. Even some like protein bars, I know like Cliff Bar, granola bars, things like that, they'll also add iron to those. So you want to look at the nutrition facts label and you can look and see if iron has been added to that product. So those were just 3 questions recap from the Q&A, and I hope to see you at the next one or in the gym.